Hey everyone, I'm Fred Ranger and he's Billy Bond. That's his name. And he's a year and a half poodle, miniature poodle. Such a sweetie. Great guy. First time I think you're seeing it, I think you might have seen it on my Instagram feed, but he's there. He's around when we film those videos. Or he's upstairs with Vicky because he really, really, really loves her. But anyways, I thought I'd introduce you to Billy since he's a member of our family. And he pretty much likes all these cameras. He likes to look at them and sometimes eat some stuff, like the cap of my 35mm Summicron lens for Leica, which, as you know, it's expensive when you break a Leica. Even the lens cap is damn expensive. But anyways, today I wanted to do a little update for the channel, and there are a lot of actually very good questions being asked on this channel, and I thought I'd do a bit of a Q&A session because some of those questions actually might benefit you guys that are watching this. And I know not everybody will go in this comment section and deep dive into what people are saying and my answers and so on. So I surfaced up a couple key questions, and yes, I am getting old, so I'm gonna put these glasses on. Pains me to say, but if I want to read something on a computer or close, I mean, if you guys are 40 plus, you might understand. And if not, hey, no biggie. At one point, you'll get it. I look very old and not really good, but I can see what I'm reading. So let's deep dive into a quick Q&A here, because again, I think that some of those answers might benefit a larger group of people. Those are usually questions about gear, of course, but also Fujifilm, Leica, and Sony, which is the camera that's filming me right now, the A7IV. So let's start with Andrew Halbert, who asked 2 weeks ago. Very nice video. Fred just recently purchased a Q2, so I've been doing a lot of videos on the I was about to say Fujifilm, Leica Q2. He says, we'll pick up these items up. I did a video if you're interested in the top 5 items for your Leica Q2. Do you have a recommendation for a backpack for the Q2 and a travel tripod and possibly a 15-inch MacBook? Well, this is a very loaded question and one that I have some answers for. First off, the bag. I am a big fan of the Ona Bags, and this is a small form factor, as you can see right here, and it has that canvas type of material. And actually, if you look at how it is built inside, pretty cool. You can have sections in there. You can put your lenses, your Q2 in the middle. You have some pockets in front. You also have on the side, and it's pretty durable. I've had this one for several years. I think it might be like 10 years almost. I like to put a little notepad in here in the back. You can even put an iPad mini if you really want to bring something like that. And overall it is weather sealed. I wouldn't put it in the pouring rain though, because there are some holes on each side, and I wouldn't trust the mechanism, or not the mechanism but the design, for like fully waterproof. But it is, resistant to rain. I know, I think it's Alex on Street. I think he also left a comment on one of the videos, but he put me onto a wax that you can put so you can have more protection and kind of have an almost like new item. So this is the Ona bag. I'll put a link down below if you're interested in getting one, but I highly recommend it for those small-ish rangefinder style type of cameras. That's the first question from Andrew. Thank you for that question. On to the next question. I will put those glasses on again. I feel like I need to do like a little move when I don't know. I've never wore glasses, so I only saw like movies when people are like, talk to me more about it. Anyways, yeah. So second question, Guru Gamer. So Guru Gamer asks, why the hat? And to that I reply, why not? I'm always wearing a hat in most of the videos. Is it there? Let me go get it. So this hat has been in multiple videos with the glasses. Look silly, but I really love hats. I don't have the perfect head for hats, but I don't care. I will wear them because, you know, those are cool. And this is a Brixton hat, and I bought it out of the desert of Sedona. Was it Sedona or Joshua? I forgot, but it was in the desert. And let me just say that when I enter into a hat store, I am like a kid in a candy shop. Anyways, that was a joke question, but it was a real question and a real answer. Next question. So Daniel Garcia said, I have the same lenses. How are you liking the Tamron 28-70? I'm thinking of getting that one. Nice video. This was about the A7IV that I'm now using for video. And I have both Tamron lenses. So I have a 15 or 17-28 and a 28-75, I think. And those are perfect lenses. They're weather sealed. They're well built. The V2 of the Gen 2 of that 28-70 is just a pure joy to use. There is even an additional focus hold button on the lens, just like the Sony lenses. So that's a new from the Gen 1. So really like the Tamron lenses. And I also have the 20 millimeter for those videos because it's 1.8 and I like that shallow depth of field. But I cannot recommend enough those Tamron lenses if you have, if you're on a budget like me for video and you don't want to pay the full, G lenses prices or the G lens Sony lens price. So highly recommended. If you're interested in a review, let me know. I might do just that. And also I got some filters, some magnetic filters that got sent to me. So maybe it's a good way to test both the lens and also the filters that go on front of it if you're doing video, and the filters are a must. Next question. Ellie said, that's a nice setup and crispy footage. This was in relation to a video that I filmed with the A7IV when I first got it. Was making coffee and Vicky was doing like cooking and stuff, wanting to test some of the features. But he was wondering if I had experienced any overheating issues with the A7IV, and does it get hot while filming? Well, first of all, if you have a Sony camera, recent Sony camera, the first thing you should do is go into menu and then turn the high heat sync warning to high, because if you leave it on the regular option in the menu, then you will be met with camera shutdowns because it's too hot. It thinks it's too hot. So yes, the camera will get hot. So I did a lot of 4K footage and slow-mo and so on and so forth, 120 frames per second, but it doesn't overheat. That's the good news. So the heat dissipation in the A7IV, I think is the same as the one in the A9. So it's pretty efficient. So I would say nope, no problem on the overheating side. But again, I don't film like 30 minutes long videos, except these videos, but usually I keep it under 20 minutes recording, and then the final video ends up being around 10 minutes. So yep, no overheating on the A7IV. Good news. I know some people had some issues, but not over here. Peter Joseph said, great video, Fred. If you really like, I would really like the chance to have an M10. Yes, this guy is an incredible camera. Here you have it with the my new thumbs up that I just added to the kit. I'm a big fan of thumbs ups and thumb grip because it's more easy to shoot and to actually hold the camera for longer periods of times in your hands. So your final word makes sense. Yeah. So in that video about the M10 and why I like shooting it even 2022. Was about the fact that this is a 24 megapixel modern, sensor in a rangefinder, true rangefinder camera, not a rangefinder style like the X100 or even the Q2. It is actually a real rangefinder. So it's the perfect mix between analog and digital. So if you are like me and you love the digital, or sorry, the analog cameras like the M6 and other analog cameras, but especially the M series, but you want to have the best of both worlds with the convenience of shooting digital, then the M10 is definitely way up there. Of course, there's the M11 if you have, you know, more budget and you want the ultimate cream of the crop on the M side of things. But I feel that the M10 and the M10R or the M10P and the M10D and all these great cameras are perfect for, you know, entry into Leica. They are still expensive, so I would even recommend an M240 to start with, or even an M9 if you can find one used and, you know, just want to get the hang of the actual rangefinder style or rangefinder cameras. So Peter, I hope you get the M10 one day. Maybe you get mine actually, because I'm interested in trying out other M body cameras. So we never know. Maybe I'll put it up for sales, maybe not. I know I said I wouldn't upgrade, but yeah, we'll see about that. Then here's a comment from John Nelson, who said, I also have the Q2 and M10. So this is kind of the same setup as I have here. And he agrees with everything I said. If you're interested in learning more about that video, just click on the card up there. I'll put the link down below also. But he said, John Nelson, that the M10 feels so much like a digital film camera. That's exactly what we were just saying. And I love it. And he said, yeah, yes, to Ukraine. I did, announce that I was giving all the proceeds from my store. Still the case today. To Ukraine ONGs to support, Ukraine families. It's devastating what's happening right now, and I know it's a small contribution, but every bit helps. So if you're interested, if you want to buy art and contribute to Ukraine ONGs at the same time, I'll put a link also down below. But yeah, so I feel that this combo of M10 Q2, and if you throw in a analog camera like the M6, you are golden in terms of, I call it the Holy Trinity. It used to be about the lenses for the Holy Trinity on Nikon and Fuji and so on. But for me now, it's about the Holy Trinity of the M, and I would say now the Q also bodies. Okay, we continue. I have a comment from Dave Dialect. Actually, that's why I can't really read. I forgot to put these. That's why I'm really not used to that. Now I can see Dave Dialect. There you go. Hey Fred, just found your YouTube page through searching for Fuji or used Fuji gear on our local Montreal Facebook marketplace. I'm new to the Fujiverse. I like this word. Just bought the used XT2, good camera, and now thinking of which lenses I will want. Nice to hear your opinion on these camera bodies. Would love to know how you like the 23 millimeters. I have my eyes on that one. Cheers. Well, I did reply first that welcome to the Fujiverse, and this great camera system that is Fuji is one that's so exciting to get into because so many good products and so many good lenses, and also of course the film simulation and so on. So I remember when I first shot my first Fuji camera, I was super excited, and I'm still excited about those little, gems of cameras. But the 23 millimeter, absolutely, man. I would actually start with the 23 millimeter, either the F2 or even the F1.4. There's a new version, there's an old version. But for anyone who wants to start in the Fujiverse or the Fujifilm ecosystem, the 23 is that perfect, 35 millimeter full frame equivalent, where you can be on the street and have some decent, reach, but also, not too tight like a 50. And also you can use it, a little bit more wider angle type of views where you can do some landscape. So it's a really great all-around lens. Of course, there are zoom lens, and the kit lens on the Fujifilm kit or ecosystem is very, very good. So you have the, I think it's the 18 to 55 f2.8 to f4. That one is you should buy it with it if you can. But if you're buying an XT2, which is a very good X-Trans 3 sensor type of body, weather sealed. It used to be the top of the line not that long ago. Great ISO performance, even autofocus is decent. But if you put a 18 to 55 on it, you're golden. You can travel the world and get some pretty cool pictures. But the 23 millimeter, I have a sweet spot for it. First of all, the small one, the F2, the size of it literally brings it to this territory where you can put it in a bag and you don't feel the weight. But it is weather sealed, and the quality of the image is pretty good, pretty decent. And also, of course, it is a Fujinon lens, so it's perfectly in sync with the body for the autofocus and so on. And the lens does get some updates also through firmware, because Fuji is great on firmware updates. So yes, I cannot recommend it enough. You should definitely buy the 23mm f2, or if you're more into the portrait slash shallow depth of field type of photography, you can go with the f1.4, either the new one if you have more money, or the old one is still a very, very good product. Again, it was good back then, it's still good today. Sometimes we get excited about new stuff, but if weather seal is not an issue for you, yeah, just go with the 23 1.4, the old one, and you'll be golden. Last comment for this very, very quick update. Great video. Do you know by any chance if the XS10 has the preview for F-Log or F-Log Assist? And I tested it and I used it, and yes, it does have it. So it's beautiful way to actually preview how your footage will look like with correction to Rec. 709 when you film in F-Log, so you don't have to look at a gray out or very tamed image. You can actually see some colors and some punch, but it is capturing F-Log on the card, which is very, very cool. So you get best of both worlds. Again, it's too easy these days. You get the F-Log footage captured on the card, and you see on the monitor that the image is actually, pretty much well colorized. So those were some of the questions that I wanted to highlight. There are plenty of others. You can go into my comment section or on my blog at fredranger.com/blog. And I really invite you to go hear the latest podcast I was on. I was invited to the Street Photography Magazine podcast with Bob Patterson. What a great conversation we had, and it just got released today, and today we are April 9th on this Saturday, and it's available on any podcast platform and also at streetphotomagazine.com. And I had such a great time talking about my passion for photography, for storytelling, for the gear we use to tell our stories in this day and age. But again, just a great all-around conversation. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about me and, not just the gear that I use or the videos that I put up, you have this option of going to that podcast. Really enjoyed my conversation with Bob. I actually had Bob on my podcast, a visual storytelling podcast, a couple of weeks ago. Also, I'll put a link down below if you're interested into that, and you'll be able to hear both sides of the story. So thank you so much for hanging around today. If you have any more questions about any piece of gear on the Leica, Fuji, Sony side, those are the ones that I shoot at the moment, I'm more than happy to answer them. You can like this video if you like this type of content. Don't forget to subscribe. I mean, most of the viewers of those gear / related videos are not subscribed, and if you want to know when the next one will come out, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you'll be informed as soon as I drop a new video like this one. Until then, I've been Fred Ranger. Please enjoy life, be happy, and enjoy your gear. Cheers.